Frankenstein's got a journal.
Ash, is Vamp explaining? What?
Klaus stuck in the house.
Elena side to Damon? Huh?
Do I have your attention?
Yep.
Good. Now let's talk about vampires.
Let's go. Season 5. Hear me out.
At Rebecca's kegger with Elaine and friends, taking shots like Jordan Connor, that is, in the paint like Shaq. Fix it in post. You remember when we drove coast to coast, driving to LA, Cavalier and a U-Haul, even though that car was too small. Whipping around the Grand Canyon, trying not to fall in. Even when we rode, we were still ball in. By the bay, listen to Frank Ocean. Pour some coffee, I'll see you in 10.
Just give me the cue. I'll do whatever you want.
Mo money, mo problems, but I'm counting in the sweet spot. Petey's on the track when the beat's hot.
Now let's talk about vampires.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a superfan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular Petey, let's just say about the Petey and Vampire, but please call me Pete. I'm here with my co-host and co-parent Ash. Ash, hello.
Hello, Pete. Do you think that when other people record podcasts, they fall in love because they're so close and looking into each other's eyes like we do? Or is it unique because I already love you?
I don't know how to answer. I don't think most people record podcasts in the very unique way we do, which is we record in a professional studio, definitely with more than one mic, and certainly without a very loud pug next to us.
Oh. When you start the podcast and I sit in this spot and I look in your face, I'm always like, I love this guy.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, I think of it more often than this moment, but...
So to all the unrequited lovers out there, start a podcast with your paramour.
There you go.
And
get real close.
Yeah, be like, oh, I only got the one mic, so this is how we got to do it.
I feel like we're just always telling each other secrets the whole time, and it's fun and cute.
This podcast is the secret for me.
You also have a hair on your hat.
A hair on my hat?
Yeah.
I thought I had a hat on my hair.
We have both.
Ash, we do, yes, we are in the studio. We're looking eye to eye. We could Lady and the Tramp this mic.
That would be something to see.
And before we jump into the episode, a couple things. We're going to take a couple of our patented tangents.
Okay.
Our pat tans.
Pat tans.
Okay, so if you're listening to this on the date that it comes out, there's just like a day or two to check out the new book from High Dive Publishing, All Roads Lead to Dockweiler, Devotions from the Ocean in the City of Angels by Rick Bickerstaff, and the companion album Golden Coast Summertime by Yonder Breaks, who is also Rick Bickerstaff. We're doing a Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign, and you know what? We've raised over 50%, which is great, and I think that'll be plenty to finish the design of the book and get some mixing done, but every doll hair counts. So if you have any
dollars,
if you have any doll hairs, go pluck them, convert them to U.S. currency, and donate via Indiegogo. You can find the link at High Dive Publishing on Instagram, or look, we know how Google works now. You can put
now.
in.
We didn't know before, but now we know. You
can put in a couple of the words I said: Dockweiler, Bickerstaff. You know, these very popular words.
Indiegogo, Peter Harmon.
Yes.
I donated to the Indiegogo, and I purchased a book, the album, and a T-shirt.
That is perfect. Would love everyone to do that.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Ash.
What's up?
Oh, also coming up soon, keep your peepers peeled. Ow, someone peeled my peepers. I had the pleasure to guest on a podcast that it hasn't come out yet. It might come out next week. Either way.
We'll announce it when it does.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no spoilers. But I don't think I can announce it, actually. But I was super excited to do it. It turned out great.
Yeah.
I should. When I came into this plug, I thought that I could announce it, but it hasn't been announced yet.
Right, but we'll announce it. Pete was a guest on a pod that he loves. He was excited about it. You guys will like it.
The podcast.
We'll tell you about it.
The podcast itself is "Shut Up, I Love It" with Joe Cabello and his co-host And I've done a Waterworld episode previously. So if you want to...
which we've talked about on this podcast for sure.
If you want to whet, Waterworld joke, your appetite...
What?
You can go listen to my Waterworld episode.
Yes, and then stay tuned for
another
a future
thing that I love.
I wonder if the listeners could guess.
Please don't.
To guess what you love that you could be talking about on this podcast.
I wonder if they could. Ash, maybe it was season 5, episode 19, Man on Fire. Do you remember the movie Man on Fire? Did I do a podcast about Man on Fire?
I don't remember Man on Fire, but I'm going to sub-interrupt you because... Remember that meme I showed you, or that TikTok or whatever reel, where the people are having a serious conversation when they keep licking the Tajin?
Yes.
You just did that. You're gonna be doing that this whole podcast, is just talking about this episode and then just purely licking this Tajin.
You know how some horses have like, what is it, a sugar cube or a salt lick or something?
Yeah.
I have just like a Tajin lick that I periodically go to.
Oh my gosh. This is a first on this podcast, I think.
It probably is. I usually am drinking Brothers Bond, but tonight I'm a Tajin fiend.
Yes. Okay, anyways, Man on Fire.
Man on Fire.
Is it Denzel?
Denzel.
Okay, that's all I know.
One of the Fannings, I'm not sure at this point. I believe it was a 2009 movie. That's just off the tippy. Uh-huh. And it was cool. Might have been director Antoine Fuqua, who I actually met IRL.
My parents watched like almost every Denzel movie, so if I was home around then, I would have seen it with them. But 2009, I wasn't there, probably.
And look, I know
LA.
I know you're saying Pete. Antoine Fuqua directed Training Day. I know.
Also Denzel.
Also Denzel, which that might be my mistake, but I think he directed Man on Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah.
I'm not going to look it up right now.
Me neither, and it doesn't matter. What really matters is tonight's episode, season 5, episode 19. We're getting close.
We're getting close.
Let me readjust. Let me recalibrate, because we are getting close to the season finale.
How many episodes do we have left? I know you always tell me the number.
There are 22 episodes.
22. And we're on 19?
Yes. So 3 episodes.
So we'll do August, and then we'll probably take a break when school starts, just FYI, before we start the next
season. You know, I got to get in the lab to do that theme song. But, yeah, I mean...
I always need a little break when school starts. Any teachers out there listening, you know it's the craziest time of the year. So busy.
Christmas, most wonderful time. School starting, craziest.
It's true.
Should be more songs about that.
I don't know that I want to hear it.
School carols. Back to school carols.
Yeah.
School bells instead of jingle bells.
All right, write it up.
Instead of Good King Wenceslas.
Who's that?
Good Principal Wenceslas.
Good King Wenceslas? I never heard that in my life.
Really?
No.
Good King Wenceslas on the feast of David or something like that.
Oh, his name is Good King. I probably just made up some other word in my mind.
Selling all the bread. I don't know what it is, but
Good King Wenceslas.
Yeah, that was in my Christmas Carol book when I was playing the piano. But look, I shouldn't have gone to that second after school bells. I shouldn't have gone from Jingle Bells to Good King Wenceslas, but that's what happened.
That's okay. I forgive you.
Okay, let's do a couple more school carols, though, because that's definitely what people are here for.
All right. Rocking around the Christmas tree is instead going to be, I don't know even what.
Rocking around
the classroom door. Something dumb.
Yes, that's good. Okay, instead of deck the halls.
Well, deck your classroom.
Deck the hallway.
Oh, the hallway. Also, you have to set up your whole classroom.
Instead of Jingle Bell Rock, School Bell Rock.
There's Schoolhouse Rock, which is
Schoolhouse Rock.
Already a thing.
Instead of the Grinch, the principal. You're a mean one, Mr. Principal. You give all the detention.
No. Hopefully not.
All right. In the comments.
These are outdated.
In the comments, send us some school carols. Our comments have been on fire lately.
Oh my gosh, I just made my hair get stuff.
Ash, speaking of frigid temperatures,
Bursh.
let's do another patent that we hold at the patent office in Washington, D.C. Cold open.
Bursh.
Elena brings breakfast to Stefan at the library? I was confused about this location for a long time.
They haven't done a good job of establishing the college to you.
To me personally.
Yeah. I think it's also a little wishy-washy for other people too, because they barely spend any time there and now all of a sudden they're at the college at Whitmore, but yes.
You can't cold open at the college. You got to give me a establishing shot.
They don't do any exteriors of this. I mean, you said no spoilers, but they don't give us enough exteriors at the college to know where they are. They always show the outside of Elena's house. They always show you outside of the mansion. They show you not really outside the grill, but like in the courtyard.
Yep, town square.
Yeah, but they don't get a lot of exteriors at Whitmore.
Professor Stefan, he's quizzing Elena, helping her study.
By the way, Stefan would be the greatest history or whatever study buddy. I know she's doing like psychology kind of stuff. But like he went to college, I think he said like 3 different times, and then he's lived forever. Like he knows a lot. That's
why he was getting in trouble in high school class.
Yeah.
Was it with Alaric?
Yeah, because he was like, this isn't what happened.
No, it wasn't with Alaric. It was with a different teacher. It was with that football coach.
The football coach.
Who,
before Alaric came.
Who you definitely remember that guy's name.
Yep, Mr. So-and-so.
All right, Damon, they're doing exposition. Damon and Elena can't be friends. He doesn't want to see her face again. Bonnie comes in. Stefan is the tutor from heck.
He's just keeping her focused. He's doing a good job. He's not even being mean.
The other side is falling apart, Bonnie says. She's the anchor, and she does more exposition, except this isn't recapping anything. This is new information that she has impending death. If the other side falls apart as the anchor, she dies.
Right. Like, I think they expected us to, like, just know that from seeing it falling apart, but this is the first time they're really just saying it.
No.
Outright.
And if someone had asked me, I'd be like, oh, the other side falls apart. Perfect. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she's safe or whatever.
She's done. Pull up the anchor. We're sailing.
Sailing takes me away.
Is that a Christmas carol or a school carol?
No, it was a old song redone by NSYNC.
The other side is falling apart. Okay. Nothing Bonnie can do about it, so she's trying to be a chilled out bro about it. Elena doesn't want to lose Bonnie again. And what will happen to Alaric?
Yeah, and all other people over there.
What the heck?
Grams and such.
Liv will have a witchy idea. Damon is on... his task is the Travelers taking over Mystic Falls.
Right.
Jeremy...
Which they didn't really do too much about in this episode, but we know, like, Damon didn't really get to do his task, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't see the Travelers very much.
We saw them doing their spell on their own, but Damon was just not involved. He got sidetracked.
He was busy. Jeremy and Matt are at the big-ass mansion with my buddy Ty. It's like Ty's not there.
Ty's not there because he's possessed by a traveler.
Ty's a traveler. The traveler knife is gone. Damon wants the knife. They can't find it. Okay, Damon says, vamp toss my keys into your chest cavity if you don't give me that knife. Mm-hmm. Vamp toss, that's good.
Yeah, vamp toss. They've done some vamp tossing from outside the house to inside of the house, so and you have not been a fan of that. Because you're like, if you can just throw something into the house, then why do you need to be invited in or whatever?
Yeah, that's true. Klaus, didn't he do a whole bunch of damage?
Yeah, there's been several
Cole,
things of that.
Enzo. Mm-hmm. Ty is missing. Okay, Ty is chained up with some rats. Marcos is there. He puts him to sleep. Julian is in there. Is in Ty.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Passengered into a hybrid. I did that recently when I was in my friend's Prius.
I was waiting to see what you were gonna. I'm like, what is he gonna say?
I just made that up, by the way. I didn't write that down. Their days of striking camp are numbered. Sloane is there. There's a 2,000-year-old curse from witches. Nature turns against them if they try and settle. I would like to see that episode. Give me a flashback of just like vines taking over their camp.
Right, so them being like, no, we have to disperse.
Yeah. They're roaming like cattle, but they can break the curse. Ash, Cain, and Abel. I forget which one actually killed the other one. I think Cain killed Abel. Hey,
That sounds right.
Bible heads, hit me up in the comments.
Cain killed Abel. Yeah.
Once that brother killed that other brother, he was forced to roam. He couldn't do camp either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It also seems like that they are super obsessed about living together.
Yeah.
It's also like, well, just like be on your own, do your own thing. Also, they're all together doing all this stuff all the time.
Right.
But they do have to go from place to place, I guess.
Yeah.
They're always moving around, but it's also like, that's kind of fun.
Well,
You're traveling. Isn't that what everyone wants to do?
If you look at Instagram. Why is everyone in Italy right now?
They don't have a curse from the witches.
True.
Or maybe they do, and they're traveling.
They're traveling. What was I going to say?
And
I
they
was
want
going
to
to
set
say,
up camp and settle in Mystic Falls. And it's like, really? You're
Out
picking,
of all the places?
You're picking Mystic Falls?
I was going to say that you said, shouldn't they just like disperse or whatever? I don't think it's specific to only when they're in a big group. I think even if it was just two of them, like Hans
can't
from
be together.
church and Nadia, they were still having to roam around. They weren't just chilling.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're all Roman. Roaming.
They're all roaming. You know, I know exactly, though, why they're so mad. Their cell phone bills, Ash. They're always roaming.
There you go.
In order to undo the curse, they must undo the witch's magic. They use my knife again to slice Sloane's hand?
There's a slicing of Tyler's hand. They drink the blood, then they slice her neck.
Mm-hmm. I do not consent to my knife being used that way.
Okay. On the record.
Thank you. Thank you. Enzo talking to Damon on the phone, asking about the travelers. There's a hijacked hybrid, Ash. And that actually happened to me recently.
When you were in your friend's
when I was
car?
in my friend's Prius. Field trip to find travelers. So, what, Enzo and Damon are going to go find these travelers?
Supposedly, but they don't.
They don't want Matt and Jeremy to do it. Enzo is meeting Liv and Bonnie at this library location. And I was like, didn't he just walk into this building? And he did. It was weird. It was like a Saw edit. Only actually he was walking into the right location. But in Saw, it's like, in like Saw 3 and 4, it's like someone gets kicked through a door and then all of a sudden it's a flashback and they're like in a hospital.
This show, like as of lately, has done those edits where the transitions are very similar, but it takes you to a new location.
Yeah.
Where it's like someone's high-fiving and then in the next scene they're finishing a high five, but it's two other people somewhere else. So it is really confusing in this scene because it looks like Enzo is going to somewhere else, but then he's not. He's just with everyone. It's like too good of an edit almost.
And Liv and Bonnie are folding napkins at not the grill but some other bar because I was still confused at this point.
You remember where that's where Liv was working, where she was like trying to set stuff on fire and stuff.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I just don't know the topography.
I know. We have never seen the outside.
Liv doesn't like Enzo. Stefan and Elena are all in the same place. Haha, some bar or campus or something. Enzo is searching for Maggie.
Yeah, I'd like to see them like walk from their dorm room to this place. Like we needed to get like a global picture.
We need a drone shot.
Yes, we need to be like, where are you?
We need a drone shot. It's like when we see R2, D2. Nice drone shot. He's not a drone. All right, Maggie is from the Augustine days back in the...
Whitmore House.
Yeah, was that where that was? In the basement? I got a friend with Enzo in the basement. Flashback. Vervain bracelet.
Unless you're going to do it.
Maggie left in 1950. Hopefully lived her life to the fullest. Sloane gave him Dr. Westpick. She's dead? What?
What did you write?
Dr. Maxfield. Maxfield had a picture of her dead that Sloane gave to
because,
Enzo.
Okay, Enzo promised to help Sloane. I'm like, what are you saying? Enzo promised to help Sloane, and in return, they were gonna. What's this guy's name from the other side?
And Marcos.
Marcos was like, if you want to find Maggie. Everyone knows I don't remember names. If you want to find Maggie, stay here. And then there's some stuff that's shenanigans that happen that we don't see, but what must have had happen is that Marcos gives information to Enzo of where to find Maggie, but the information he receives is this folder that shows Maggie has been decapitated, in the 60s, right? Or the 50s? Not long after she
like
escaped. And so Enzo, who has been literally surviving only to thank Maggie, to meet Maggie, to be with her, whatever, throughout history, is so mad and sad that the one thing that was like really keeping him going is now dead. And not only just dead, but her head was ripped off, so everyone obviously assumes that it was Stefan.
Yes, a Ripper killed her in 1960 in Mystic Falls. Someone tore her head off. Stefan was a Ripper, but he wasn't a Ripper at that point.
I like how everyone's like, no, 1960? No, it wasn't Stefan.
Well, they've all read the journals before he burned them. Uh-huh. He says he has nothing to do with it. Enzo calls for Liv. She does a spell. Luke comes in. Mm-hmm. So in order for Liv to do the spell, Enzo has the rugby team pressing up Luke.
And all this is happening, though, in this restaurant with all these people watching.
And they're all compelled by Enzo.
Yeah, they're all compelled.
Enzo is drinking, thinking of Maggie, using the same shots of Maggie flashback over and over.
Over and over, yeah.
They had her for a day.
There is more of a scene later with her and Stefan and her and Damon on the street, but her with Enzo is all very repetitive.
Luke and Liv are plotting. Luke's a witch too, or warlock. I'll let you know if he needs to die. Enzo ties Stefan up with vervain water ropes or something. And then he mentions the sailing team. He's got all the jocks helping him out.
Yeah, he went through the whole school, got everyone on board, made a whole plan.
Enzo wants Stefan to admit that he killed Maggie, and they have her journal. Mm-hmm. So now it's a lady diary. 1950s
diary.
Lady diary. Which, that'd be a cool show. Instead of Vampire Diaries.
Just Lady Diary.
The Lady Diaries. She couldn't find love. She thought Enzo was dead in the fire. Enzo says that Stefan is a journal man. Mm-hmm. Enzo calls Damon. Damon's still like mad at Matt and Jeremy.
For losing the knife.
And they're like, look at Stefan's journals. He burned them. Are you with Elaine and Stefan now? Damon asked Enzo, and he's like, yeah, but one of them will be dead soon. And Damon's like, you have your murder voice on.
Yeah, because Damon knows Enzo so well, but also he's like, that's my girl and that's my brother. Mm-hmm. So he's stuck in a square, not a triangle.
Just a square.
Just a square.
Sydney. He tells Damon Stefan killed Maggie in the 1960s. Cut to dun 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 dun. Yeah, baby. I'm in all types of scenes. Yeah. Mystic Falls. There's a
International Man of Mystery.
International Man of Mystery in town. What if he did it?
That'd be so funny.
Damon also knows Stefan wasn't a Ripper then. When Stefan was a Ripper, people know that time frame.
Yeah.
Election night, flashback, 1960. The grill was still around with a very modern-looking sign.
I like that they made the sign for this time. Like, that's a cool...
No, I thought it was more modern to 2010.
Well, because it's like a redo, sort of. I don't think
Yeah.
it's modern. I think it's like... Well, I don't know. Did they have neon back then? I think they did.
I hope
Like
that,
the old,
I hope that they looked into that and were like...
I felt like it fit the times. I don't feel like it was that more modern now, but I think that...
It looked like Jinko jeans or something to me.
I don't know. I liked it, though. I like that it was different than, like, the current... The grill.
Stefan attacks a lady, tells her to forget this.
He just drank her
And
blood
run.
real quick.
Then Maggie James walks up on him. She knows him. He's another vampire. She has a picture of Damon, who she knows is his brother, and she said, "You got the handsome genes." She's been searching for Damon. He knew Enzo, her friend. Stefan says, "Stay away from my brother. He's a monster." She wants to kill Damon.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you where he is so you can kill my brother. Even though he admits that Damon is a monster.
He gets H for B, but he didn't kill her. Enzo grabs Bonnie, wonders what happens if she dies.
Right. I know that. I like that moment because he's like, he holds Bonnie up like another hostage. Like, I'm going to hurt Bonnie if you don't help me, whatever. Let me kill you or find out the story. And he's like, what does happen if you die? Because that's kind of like what the viewer is wondering. He's like kind of speaking for the audience. I like that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I don't know what happens. Probably just is like a balloon, like, and just like all the dead
Float
people
away.
go into the real world, like like a large, like
Spooky.
Everyone shoots into the real world. Stefan then says, "Yes, I did kill Maggie. I forgot." That's the truth. He lies.
Oh yes. It
Yes.
was me.
Enzo stabs Stefan. Damon calls Caroline. Where's she at? Forbes is there.
I know, but Caroline doesn't answer. We don't actually see her or hear her. It's just like Damon calling her up real quick. Being like, hey, we need you. What's going on? Call your mother.
Stefan killed my only friend's girl. And is Forbes traveled currently?
What do you mean? What? Is Forbes?
Does Forbes have a traveler inside of her currently?
No, they got her out.
Okay. Maggie
I
James.
think. Wait. Now I'm getting my timelines mixed up.
Maggie James, unresolved homicide, possible serial killer. But Damon admits he killed her. That's a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah.
Flashback with Maggie. He bites his wrist. Oh, so he's in jail. Maggie's like, make me a vampire and I'll save you. He bites his wrist, knocks off her vervain bracelet, compels her to leave, forget I existed, instead of turning into her into a vampire. He gives her the bracelet back, and he has her lighter, MJ.
Do you think this is a good, right move for Enzo? Do you think it was good that he, set her free and told her to forget him? Or do you think that he should have turned her into a vampire? And they could have been, vampire lovers and escaped.
I don't know, because did he say that? I thought the whole deal was they weren't lovers.
Well, at the time they were. But now, I forget who says it. Either Caroline or Elena. It's like, wouldn't she be super old?
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want to thank her because now she's 70 or whatever if she had lived. But at the time they loved each other. But now that it's been forever and he stayed young and she's got old, in his mind that's what he thought. He's like, no, I don't want to be with her anymore. I just want to thank her. But they did love each other. She wanted to turn into a vampire and run away with him.
Well,
But
turned out bad for her.
And him.
And
He was tortured forever.
turned out bad for him. So if he had turned her into a vampire, they would have escaped and been vampires. And
Or maybe they would have been killed immediately. Like, we don't know.
probably
By
he
Max
should have.
Field.
Probably he should have done it.
Turned her, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got turned. And Enzo is still stabbing Stefan in the present.
If I had the choice between never remembering you or you turning me into a vampire so we could live eternally forever together, I would for sure be a vampire. No questions asked.
There you go. Okay.
I would. You wouldn't?
Yeah, I'd probably do what you said.
No, you wouldn't. You liar.
What's the alternative? Just die?
No, just leave and forget me.
I'm Maggie?
Yeah.
Or I'm Enzo?
No, both. We're both Maggie. We both have the Maggie choice.
We're both Maggie?
Well, I already gave my scenario if I was Maggie.
Okay, so, but if you were a vampire
Yeah.
getting tortured all the time, and I was the male nurse, and,
She's not even a nurse. She's a scientist.
I was the male scientist.
Like an intern.
If I was the male intern.
Taking notes and data. Observer.
Taking male notes and male data about a female vampire.
And we were in love.
Okay, and we were in love, and the choice is be a vampire and maybe escape, maybe get killed, or
And be with me together forever.
or dead immediately,
But that's not the hope.
or run away and forget you, and then be beheaded pretty soon after.
Well, you don't know that you can be beheaded.
Ash, I'd be with you, okay?
Okay, good. It's on the record.
I just had to draw it out, just like my other thing that was on the record.
Which I don't remember what that was. You were in the Prius? I don't know.
I forget. So much happens every episode. Okay. Liv is more powerful than Bonnie. She learned in first grade what Bonnie taught her.
Which is so silly. I mean, we know that Bonnie didn't really understand her witch powers until she was in high school. But she is was a Bennett witch. She should have been more powerful than Liv. Just saying.
Enzo is talking about being tortured. Damon comes in. Release the hostages, please. Enzo and Damon hash it out. Damon is like, why are Stefan and Elena studying together anyway? Damon admits to killing Mags, I call her.
Mags. Yeah. And, like, if Stefan didn't... I don't know if Stefan, like, really wasn't sure that he didn't do it or not. Or he was covering for Damon. Or he just wanted to save Elena. Like, we don't really know his motivation why he said that. But Stefan gets kind of annoyed that Damon killed Maggie because he made it look like Stefan did it with the beheading.
Yes.
But Damon has a good reason because he's like, I was missing for 5 years. Like, he was being tortured. Was it 5 or 50? I don't know. I'm sounding silly.
I think it was 5.
And he didn't even know. And so he's just mad at Stefan, so he's just lashing out like Damon does. But then he killed Maggie without knowing it was
I want to say for all my Tajin fiends, if you're listening, take a lick. Periodically, I'm going to let you know. All right. Flashback, cool Damon, a little James Deaney.
Deanie sounds dumb.
Maggie wants to interview him for the Whitmore Alumni College Gazette. That sounds fake.
Yeah, she's lying.
She asks him about the Whitmore house fire. She wants info.
He's like, yeah, it was really hot and scary and terrible or whatever.
She tries to kill him, but he kills her, rips her head all the way off. Tried to give him a vervain injection.
Right. And you were a little bit like, whoa, when she got her head ripped off. That was a good, like, gruesome moment.
It was.
Yeah.
He made it look like Stefan did it because Stefan had a penchant for ripping. Enzo is mad. Damon didn't bat an eye? Is he going big? My switch was off.
Right.
His humanity switch. He didn't mean to hurt Enzo.
He had to turn his switch off to leave the fire and leave Enzo without feeling bad.
Damon says, kill me, leave Elena and Stefan out of it. Enzo is sad. If I hate you, I have nothing left because he had Mags which I call her, that he was going after.
Mags is a character in the Hunger Games.
There you go. Enzo must be shutting off his switch. I said, now he doesn't care.
I know, he shuts his switch off for so long before anyone does anything. He's just like, there is one thing I can do. And just stands there with his eyes closed, just still. What does everyone think he's doing? Meditating? Like, what?
But what are you going to do? Like, push him over?
Yeah, but like, Damon does it a little bit too late. They could have stabbed him. They could have snapped his neck. There's a lot of things they could have done.
True.
But he's just like, and they're like, oh, wait. Oh. Stand up his humanity, even though we were literally just talking about it.
Sloane is dead. Ty or his passenger wakes up Julian or whatever. I was like, is Julian in Sloane now? What's going on? The blood of the final two doppelgangers will undo witch magic. Which I tell our kids that every night. They mix the blood. Sloane drinks it. It looks like Ty looks at the camera.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Enzo switch off. He doesn't care. Emotion free. He's doing a toast to Maggie James, to whom I feel no attachment.
Aww.
Everyone is free to go. He lets all those hostages be uncompelled. Except Liv. He bites Liv. Damon whooshes over, and Enzo stabs him. Stefan does a flying kick punch.
That's the most wild thing I've seen on the show up to this point.
Very reminiscent of Hot Rod's power punch
it's
or whatever.
Very much like that.
Damon and Enzo whoosh away. Stefan has to save Liv with his blood. They whoosh out too.
Bonnie stays back with Liv.
Damon says, "Don't hurt Elena," on the phone with Enzo. Enzo is dragging her along. He kicks a sign for a sake. What?
What? He kicks the sign for a steak? For a steak.
Oh.
He breaks the sign and then he gets the steak from the broken sign.
Enzo breaks Elena's neck. Stefan and Enzo fight in the rain.
I feel like it's always raining at Whitmore.
Liv is okay. Luke is okay. Liv is probably going to get fired from this hybrid coffee shop, bar, restaurant, study area.
Hybrid, you called it?
Yeah, which reminds me of when I was drinking coffee and beer and studying in my friend's Prius.
Oh my gosh.
Recently.
That's so dumb.
Liv and Bonnie talk about the other side. Say goodbye to your friends. The other side is like any other spell. The travelers let Marcos escape, so it needs to be balanced. The other side is hurting for Marcos right now, Ash. Maybe they could do an Indiana Jones, and they could just go and put like a Marcos-shaped bag of sand.
Is that your Pete-diction right there?
Yeah. Harrison Ford will just stick his arm through Bonnie and just drop
it.
A Marcos-shaped bag of sand.
A big bag of sand.
Yeah. A bland bag of sand. Bonnie is crying. Jeremy deserves to know you're leaving. Okay, so what? Bonnie is going to go to the other side to take the place of Marcos, seems like. Damon runs to Elena. She's okay. He carries her away. Stefan and Enzo are still fighting.
But she's still, like, out. She's not, like, awake yet.
Enzo punches the gas tank of a car. I think it's my friend's Prius. Gets out. Oh, but it's not because there's gas in it.
No.
But a hybrid has some
both,
gas.
right?
Yeah. Get you a car that can do both. Gets out Maggie's lighter. Does a speech. Prepares to burn Stefan up.
Yeah.
Stefan grabs Enzo's heart and is just holding it in there.
Yeah, which is a good, like, strategy that these vamps do sometimes, just to be like, I got you, and you can't go anywhere, you know, without having a weapon. We've seen it before.
For sure. Tajin fiends. Get another
Another lick.
Get another lick.
Ooh.
Enzo makes Stefan rip his heart out, Ash.
I know. This is crazy because, like I just said 1 second ago, we've seen them do this before, but usually the person whose heart is being held wants to live. But instead, Enzo is just like basically making it look like Stefan killed him. Mm-hmm. But really, Enzo just backs away.
Yeah.
And then just leaves his heart in Stefan's hand. And Stefan's like, oh no. Like, Stefan didn't really want Enzo to live, but didn't really want to kill him either. And Enzo just made the decision and forced Stefan to kill him.
And Ash, there's some symbolism here. One brother ripped his heart out. Literally. One did. Metaphorically.
Oh, no. No good.
Enzo gets gray and veiny.
Are you sad? Like, how do you feel about Enzo dying?
Enzo, I finally placed his voice before he died. Thank goodness. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Okay, I can see similarities to that. It's like a little less fanciful, like...
Yeah, but he even had the little kind of like squinch up of the mouth. Like what's something Captain Jack Sparrow would be say, like, I don't know, like Orlando Bloom. I don't know.
He didn't say Orlando Bloom even one time.
You're one of my co-stars, baby, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I swear it's not mine, Orlando Bloom. Keira Knightley, yeah.
Yep, that's it. You got it right on the head.
But for real, Enzo, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Similar, okay, fine.
Let's get Enzo in the new friggin' Pirates movie. From vampires to pirates? Vampire pirates? Vampirates? Yes.
Vampirates is very good.
All right. Hit me up at High Dive Publishing. I'm available to write
You can
Vampirates.
write Vampirates and cast Enzo.
As Austin Powers the pirate. Austin.
He says like something love. They say love the same. They both say love the same.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Damon left him a message on his phone even. I wrote. But he did though, right?
Uh-huh. He was saying like, just leave it and we'll go anywhere. We'll go to Cape wherever.
Oh yeah, they're going to Cape May?
Cape Horn.
Cape Horn?
Which is like in Africa, right? The Cape Horn of Africa.
Where's Cape May at?
Like New Jersey.
What if they were like, we're going to Trenton, New Jersey.
Just the city? No, they go. He was like Cape wherever, and then he was like Cape Horn. I think he kept saying.
Damon carries Elena home. He has a text from Enzo even. Right. Elena wakes up. Damon's not there. Stefan comes.
But the text wasn't from Enzo. It was from Stefan. It was Stefan trying to make it seem like that Enzo was leaving without Damon.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna lie about... Okay, we'll get there. Okay.
You didn't know that, though? That was new to you?
That text? I don't know if I knew it in the moment. I don't remember. Stefan comes over confused how Elena got home. Bonnie's not there. Stefan tells Elena that Enzo's dead. I said, oh, they're in her dorm room because I was like, oh, they're at her house.
Still don't know where they are.
Does Damon know? No. Stefan killed his brother's only friend, which Stefan's his friend and Elena's his friend, so that's...
But, like, Alaric was his friend, but Alaric is dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
He's...
Jeremy, Matt, Bonnie, like,
he's
Caroline,
friends with all those people.
He's also friends with Liz.
Yeah.
So it's not his only friend, but it is probably, like, maybe his closest friend because they, like, suffered together.
Also, it's a friend... There is something to be said about making a friend in your own space. I know it was a prison, but you make a friend in your own space as opposed to your, what's it called? Area, like you're just in the same area.
Just like your proximity?
Proximity. Like proximity friends.
I pulled a word.
Thank you. I was never...
You guys, cheer for me right now.
I should have thought, what were the mines in GoldenEye 007? Oh, proximity. Okay. Proximity mines.
I wouldn't have been able to answer that question.
Proximity
Yeah,
friends.
but not just proximity, like just being in your in your own space. You're saying.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm totally friends with Jeremy, but that's the girl who I love's little brother who I've killed or whatever have happened.
Yeah.
We all have those friends. Let's lie to Damon. Let's tell him Enzo left town. This would destroy him if he knew I killed Enzo.
Because Damon is already very borderline because him and Elena just broke up.
Jeremy and Matt are at Ty's house with Bonnie. They're scared to leave or Damon would twist off their kneecaps.
That's so funny. It's so specific, and I'm sure he was like, I will twist off your kneecaps if you leave. And they were like, okay, we will stay here.
Stefan tells Bonnie that Damon can't find out Enzo is dead. Enzo was there trying to pass through her. Mm-hmm. So he's going to be making a little mischief because he doesn't pass through her right then. He then goes and, like, creeps on some other conversations.
No, he passes through her.
Oh,
Because
so he's just on
like,
he's just on the other side and he can just move about.
But yeah, he's like, but I like revenge or whatever.
Oh, you'll see me again, he says. I'm good at revenge. His voice sounds like Captain Jack Sparrow.
Mm. Yeah, it is a similar voice. No, don't do it. You can't.
I'm good at revenge, baby.
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, I do believe that if you like literally heard the voice, you could emulate it, but you're not hearing it right now, and you cannot pull it.
I cannot pull it, and I'm not even going to be close. However, I think it's worth it. We're going to go to a clip on YouTube.
Oh my god.
This is unprecedented.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. Okay.
You guys, this is what happens when you're licking the tahini.
All my tahine fiends. You got to lick the tahine real quick. Okay. The Traveler. Sloane, is she still a vampire? Did the doppelganger blood revert her back to human form?
Which is surprising to know that this is something that could cure vampirism. Like, this is a big deal.
Okay, so the doppelgangers are the doppelgangers always vampires, or
No.
these could just be?
They got bit by Tyler, the hybrid.
No, but here's my thing. Here's my question.
She was about to turn to a vampire.
I don't need to hear any of that, and I don't want to know that because that's confusing. My question is, throughout the years, Catherine, Elena, Tim, or whatever his name was, Stefan, Silas.
Who's Tim?
The ER guy.
His doppelganger.
All the doppelgangers
Yeah,
that we met. We met like 3 or 4 on each side. Were they all vampires?
No.
Okay, so they didn't have to be vampires at all. These could just be 4 regular-ass humans.
Mm-hmm. Elena wasn't always a vampire.
No.
The
But I'm
ER
saying
person
for
wasn't a vampire
the
at all.
blood to work,
Well,
it could have just been, no one was a vampire ever. They all died of natural causes, but randomly.
They needed to get the last 2
I understand,
doppelgangers.
but in present day, it would have been Elena was alive for real in the present. Stefan would have been long dead if no one was a vampire. And Timmy or whatever the EMS from Atlanta, if they were just both on Earth, not vampires, all the other people were not vampires. They were just dead. Would their blood still cure these travelers?
Yes, if they were the last 2 doppelgangers.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Or my question is like, did all this tomfoolery make their blood special, or it's just these are the doppelgangers?
Just these are the doppelgangers.
So if none of this stuff had happened, it'd just be 2 normal people walking around, and you would never know, and these travelers would never know.
Well, the travelers would be like searching for them and try to get their blood so they can do this whole thing.
How would they know?
What do you mean?
How would they know Elena was a doppelganger?
Because they would have known Catherine, and they would have known the other
Catherine, the
person.
regular human from 1600. Stefan, the regular
If
man.
everyone was always, I mean, that is a really difficult question because it's like the whole
Stefan,
the whole seam of everything falls
the
apart.
17-year-old from 1782 or whatever.
But the very first doppelganger was the girl that was in love with Klaus, and that he's an original. So I don't know how it could have been no one.
Okay. I'm just wondering. It's like, oh, this guy was a this and this was that. Does that mean anything or no?
My simplest answer I can give you is that they don't need to be vampires to be doppelgangers. They can be doppelgangers without being vampires.
Okay, but all of Elena's were vampires, right? Was the first girl? I forget what her name was. Ilaria or
I can't think of it either.
Alana or whatever. Was she a vampire? She was certainly frozen as a stone statue.
Uh-huh.
I forget if she was a vampire. Silas, vampire. Stefan, vampire.
But there are also witches and different, like...
The EMS guy.
What's EMS? You mean
Emergency
EMT?
Medical Services. That was his job.
Services? I heard it was T technician.
Oh, EMT. Okay. The EMT guy, he wasn't anything, right?
No. But, yeah, you just have to be a doppelganger to have the last... They needed to have the last 2 doppelgangers on Earth to do their blood to undo the witch spell so that they could undo all their magic so they can congregate or whatever the heck word they use.
All right.
Amaya is her name.
Amaya.
Takes me so long.
So, okay, so
and I don't think Amaya was a vampire, but
there was something going on.
Yeah, gosh. No, I...
Because didn't she kill herself to be with Silas or something? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've only seen it once.
I know, and I've seen it all, but this part, it does get hard to remember, to be honest.
All right, so Sloane cuts her palm. She's not healing. She's not a vampire anymore. We can undo the witch's curse that prevents us from finding a home. But Sloane is not going to enjoy it with all of the rest of them. He kills her. Mm-hmm. The doppelganger blood removes magic. Now she's dead. Julian is still in tie. Any vampire that tries to live in our new home will die. We need more blood. So they're going to get a bunch of blood, and if vampires try to live in Mystic Falls, they're going to turn them into not vampires and kill them.
Okay, here's the answer. She goes by Amara and Amaya, by the way, and... She is the world's first immortal woman. She was the handmaiden of Ketsia, who we know, and the soulmate of Ketsia's fiance, Silas. Mm-hmm. And she was one of the world's most powerful witches, and he was the first immortal man.
Wow. Damon is drinking...
And she was the first doppelganger, like I said.
Brothers bond. Well, when you're the first doppelganger...
And she made an immortality spell so she could be with Silas forever.
If you're the first doppelganger, then you're kind of nothing. It takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to doppel.
Right.
Right?
She wanted to be with him forever, like I was saying. I don't blame her.
Damon is drinking Brothers Bond. He tells Stefan he screwed up. He'll help Enzo. I'll fix it. He doesn't know Enzo is dead.
No.
That's a freaking doornail, Ash.
I know, it's so sad.
You know all those doornails we have?
They're all dead?
They're so dead. He's as dead as one of those.
I know, those doornails used to be alive. Now they're dead.
One of ours is still alive, which kind of, it's the thing that proves the rule or whatever.
Right. Okay. What does our live doornail do?
The exception.
Watches TV and
the exception proves the rule. Yeah, I'm kind of a party guy. I actually don't really approve of his lifestyle. Rest of the doornails totally dead. That one doornail is living. What?
I don't know.
Stefan checked on Elena. She's all right. I feel like we did a lot of it in this pitch of the... We talked like this a lot.
No, wait. Just finish talking.
A high register? Okay.
Talk like this.
How does that feel, baby? I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
You have the notes. I can't move the podcast along because I don't know what you said.
Damon took Elena home.
I know. It's sweet, but he was like, I don't want to see your face ever again. I hate you. And then he's like, carry you home. Because he loves her.
Mm-hmm. All right, leave Enzo alone. He's not worth saving. Damon talks about how great Enzo is.
I know. He's
twisting
definitely
in the knife.
Yes, he's just like driving it home, and Stefan has to be like, "Oh, interesting," and even though he's like, "Dang it, I just killed him."
As the lady from White Lotus would say, he's making Stefan feel real bad.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Is that good?
Yeah,
Is that good?
It's
I don't know.
pretty good.
I think I'm just trying too many things.
People try that impression and can do it really well, but that was pretty good.
That was half-hearted.
But Jennifer Coolidge, not the lady from the White Lotus.
Damon has to help Enzo. He owes Enzo, and Stefan owes Enzo.
Because otherwise Damon would have hated him or tried to kill him or whatever. But Damon was really mad at him for a long time.
Enzo is there in the room. It's too late to make amends. He loves revenge.
And it's Ghost
Ghost
Enzo.
Enzo. Ghost Enzo.
Did we finally make it to the end?
That is the end of the episode.
Okay, how many fangs, Pete?
1.83 fangs.
Why?
I think that all my Tajin fiends will know exactly what I'm talking about and why I'm rating it in that way.
That's bogus.
Why?
God, that's not rooted in anything real. What did you like? What didn't you like?
All right, we finally got the Maggie backstory. Lots of good Prius jokes.
That wasn't an episode. That was just your podcast.
I like the kneecap imagery.
Yeah. There were some
I was
walls in there for you.
I was happy to learn about that location.
You finally know where it is.
Coffee and drinks and studying?
And all you can do.
Yeah.
Not all you can eat, all you can do. All right.
1.83. What about yourself? Stefan and Elena, technically together.
I mean,
studying.
I do like seeing them studying. I'm sad about Enzo and how that affects Damon. The Traveler stuff was like not really doing much, even though they like came to a revelation. But like,
I liked seeing my knife in there.
yeah, I don't know. I'll do like a 1.75.
Okay, so we're not that far off, and yet you press me to the boards like
Because you didn't give a reason.
like a living doornail.
You just have to. You just have to say something real. A living doornail, and then I killed it, and I nailed it in.
Probably.
Is that how they die? They're all alive until you hammer them in.
Well, that would be very depressing. I would like to. I get my doornails after they've already passed away, so it's like a lot less detrimental
Dramatic, yeah.
to their population. But if you take the living ones, I mean, to each their own.
Okay. Well, I was just asking.
Like
Also, we have the same nails, and also this is all make believe.
Ash.
What up, Pete? How many licks you got left on this Tajin?
Oh, I've licked it all. Trust me.
I think we can tell.
Okay.
You were licking it throughout.
For sure. Ash. Let me just give another little plug
Do it.
to my Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign. Check it out at High Dive Publishing on Instagram. Also, it's summertime. Look for the Happenstances series.
Yes.
Read-
Everything is good.
Read horror from the High Dive. I do have a book that I contributed to coming out in August.
That's soon.
2-sentence short scares. There's a 2-sentence story in there.
You're going to scare me in 2 sentences.
Oh, I can do it in one. But just look at High Dive Publishing. It all goes through there.
That's great. Also, some teachers are going back to school soon. They're posting their Amazon wish lists all over the internet. Find someone, buy their stuff, help them out.
If you can prove that you helped a teacher via their wish list, send it to me, and if a couple of people do that, I'll send you a horror from the high dive.
Ooh, that's nice.
Like, I'll do like 5 people. If 5 people help a teacher get something off their wish list,
You get a free book.
send it highdivepublishing@gmail.com. Let me know, and we'll figure out how to get you a book.
That's so fun. Thank you. Bye.